Application and Design Competition, Professional Logo Design and Corporate Manual. Question 1.2, the total cost of rebranding incurred to date is 1.7 million, including design. 1.3, the estimated total cost is 2.8 over a 5-year period. Question 2, the majority of the project activities, all procurement processes undertaken for the rebranding project was fully compliant with the Municipal Management Act and Supply Chain Management Regulations. An extensive public engagement campaign was conducted across multiple platforms, including radio, Sizakala centers, social media platforms, newspapers, and municipal website. The campaign ran from 5 January to 19 February and focused on encouraging public participation in the rebranding process, including the logo design competition. 3.2, once the professional design process has been completed, the proposed new logo will be submitted to Council for adoption in accordance with governance processes. Question 4, 4.1, the rebranding project is being implemented by the Marketing and Communications Directorate, which is fully accountable for both the implementation and expenditure associated with the project. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah, thank you very much for those responses. A reminder again that please email those responses to the author of the question. Thank you very much, councillors, for that. We are now on item 12. These are reports from the executive committee. I see the hand from Councillor Mandlala.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Greetings to you, Speaker Wethu Potlankomo. Greetings to the Mayor, Deputy Mayor, Chief Whip and the Executive, members of Council, Amakosa Sendlunkulu and Umphakathi Jokan. Honorable Speaker, I rise on behalf of the African National Congress to request that an indulgence from the Speaker to re-engineer the agenda. This is born out of the realization that when we were doing the application for leave of absence, a lot of councillors indicated that at some point they would want to take early leave from this meeting. And there is an item on the agenda that needs the majority of the councillors to be present when that item is being transacted. It's the item on the adjustment budget, and my request, Honorable.
Agree that you want to say something, Yambosa?
Yes, thank you, Speaker. Good morning, colleagues. Maybe just so that we are all comfortable and on the same page. Do we know how many councillors have requested to leave early, and if those that would leave early would affect the quorum of the meeting? I think that would be able to help us to agree or disagree with the request from Councillor Mandlala.
Yeah, the city manager can provide that information, but when the list was read, the list really was really long. There were many councillors who have submitted the leave of absence. But it's a very simple information that can be provided. I was still, city manager already?
Yes.
How many?
The formal one that was submitted is 33. Then there were about 3 or 4 that were read out from the floor. So we are looking at about between 37 and 38 councillors who will leave in. And
Okay.
who are not available.
Okay, thank you. As I've indicated, that is a fair request. It makes sense. We are empowered by Rule 12, subsection 2, to rearrange the order of the meeting as a Speaker of Council. I agree with your request, Councillor Madlala, as I've said that it makes sense, it assists council to manage its business much more better. Right, in agreeing to the request from Councillor Madlala, it means the second supplementary report will be brought forward before the first executive report. But what will happen, because the request is to consider one item, which is the item on page 99, item 7, on the supplementary agenda, not the entire supplementary report. We're going to deal with this item only on the second supplementary agenda. Then once we have concluded that item, we'll then go back to the first executive committee report and consider all the items. And later come back to the second supplementary agenda and consider all the items. By that time, we would have already discussed only item 7 on page 99. Then we deal with that item and continue with our meeting. I'm trying to clarify that so that there's no confusion. Your worship, may you please table the report?
Speaker, greetings to yourself, greetings to the Deputy Mayor, ESCO members, all colleagues, councillors, viewers at home, Amakosi, administration, city manager. Thank you very much for the opportunity. It is my pleasure, sir, to introduce, to table the second report of the executive committee. It is so tabled. Thank you so much.
City
Thank you
Manager?
very much, Honorable Mayor. As directed, I want to start with item on Direct Exco reports, item number 7 on page 99. It's the approval of the eThekwini Municipal Adjustment Budget. Committee recommends, Honorable Speaker.
Okay, thank you very much, City Manager. I will take hands for councillors who want to engage, I indicated. But let me say this up front. The Action SA have received a donation of 3 minutes. This one. Okay. Oh, cishe wadla mncwango. Is 1 minute from MKP. Apologies. Akubhalekile kahle la. Then the
I got the MK.
thank you. That is number 1, councillors to note. Number 2, the IFP have received 2-minute donation from the ANC. The NFP have also received 2 minutes from the ANC. Now, so that when we start, those minutes are recorded. Now, what I will do, councillors, on this item, I will check hands from the floor. I will just note hands. Uspika unomusa kule item. Ngoba ufuna nje niyixoxe kahle. I will just note hands from the floor, then you will engage. Now, Councillor Berthe, you're number 1. Councillor Gavin, you're number 2. Councillor Kacheni Ndlovu, number 3. Councillor Mvubu, number 4. Councillor Nkosi, we are number 5. With those 2 minutes. Councillor Mwango, number 6. With that 1 minute. Councillor Pillay, we are number 7 with no donation. Deputy Mayor, we are number 8 with a 2-minute donation. Then His Worship will be the last. Yeah, in that order, councillors. Councillor Beck.
Thank you very much, Chair. You had me worried there when you started and I heard the donation by Action SA. I thought I missed that in the adjustment budget, but be that as it may. Chair, you're quite rightly so. When you opened the meeting, you alluded to the needs of communities and what the expectations of communities are. And then one would
Time,
have to see...
Speaker. Time. Uzosingabi nenxaka.
Yeah, no, Secretary, please make sure
No,
that.
we definitely not. The 2 minutes was donated to somebody. We definitely got more.
Yeah,
It
okay.
was the IFP. We're not in collusion, yeah.
No, don't listen to Umthetho. Just sort the system.
We're taking a small donation on the back end, yeah.
Are you ready now?
I'm ready.
Yeah, you can proceed, Councillor.
Thank you very much, Chair. Yes, so one would have the expectation of the communities out there, and now we found before us a adjustment budget, which was very much influenced and quite so to give effect to the court order brought it by the DA and to also address flood-related damages. It's actually quite sad that it took a court order for this municipality to do what it's supposed to be doing all along. And if you look at what we have to offer up for this neglect, because that's exactly what it is. If it was done in the first instance, we wouldn't be sitting now where we're supposed to all say that we are declaring savings. Now, another thing is, what is savings? Savings, if you got 5 Rand and you buy something for 2 Rand because you got it at a discount, you've got 3 Rand savings. What we declare here as savings is not that. It means that certain projects are not being done. And why are they not being done? Because there's a failure. There's no award of a contract, something is going wrong, and then we just reprioritize to something else. So let's just do 1 or 2 of those little exercises, and I'm not going to elaborate too much because my colleague also needs to say a few words. But look at the energy side of it. Now, we know that the city is strapped with a problem. We've got a problem with energy. We've got more outages than we've got power. So let's look here. Substations that are now not going to be done because it's been reprioritized are Marion Reach, Kingsborough, Underwood, Stockville, Jameson Park, where people have had the expectations that the power would be going back to the normal, which is not 1 hour out of 24. But then the most concerning here is the 132 Toyota KVA that we're not going to be doing. Now, Toyota is a very big employer of the city, and as much as we think we're stable, there's nothing stopping them from somewhere where it's more sustainable for them to have a power supply. This is something that they've asked for a long time ago. We committed, and now we're reprioritizing the money. But let's go a little bit and we go to something like PRC. 14.5 million being moved away from the Toti Library that's been without a roof for the last 6 years. And quite rightly so, although it's not mentioned here, with that library closed, The municipality yesterday let the Galleria Library know that they're not going to continue with the lease because that we're going to find out a little bit later is contained in the irregular expenditure. And then the Kings Park pool. Now that's been front page news. We don't have the number of Olympic athletes coming through, the swimmers, and we're reprioritizing 6.8 million away from the pool. Now here's a very sad one. The city doesn't have operational crematoria. Neither the Mobeni Heights crematoria, neither Phoenix crematoria are actually operational, which is depriving people of that last bit of dignity. But instead of fixing it, and they should have actually been fixed last year, we're moving 5.5 million away from Mobeni Heights and to do something else. But I'm going to almost conclude here. We're going to refuse bags. We're prioritizing another 2.2. Why? Because we couldn't get the quality right in the first place.
Time. Succeeded.
Is that a point of order or is that somebody just interrupting? I'm not quite sure, Chair.
It's time.
There's plenty time. So you're going to have to listen to me. But we're also looking at reprioritizing fuel, 4 million. The city already uses 3 million a month and 16.8 million for tires and repairs. Well, if you look at a weekend, just go to the shopping centers and you know why we need to do more tires and more fuel, because the vehicles are standing all over and people are doing shopping instead of putting them somewhere where you can do. And then, I don't want to do too much because you're going to be so embarrassed here. But let's take it with the PTNG. We're losing 186.6 million towards a project that we've been playing around for many years. But sorry, the Treasury is going to take 8.4 billion away. But I'm going to end off here. I'm not going to talk about the 22 million for statues because it's not here. But one thing I do want to mention, I see we're only making provision for 12 million for litigation. The city will have to do more because the DA has got a few more court cases that you're going to have to fight. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, this adjustment budget, which many of you will claim is progressive, actually reads like a cruel joke for others. The residents, the taxpayers who are having project milestones shifted time and time again with money that taxpayers have invested in failures, repeat failures. And what this actually means is that an entire community is prejudiced because a project milestone was not met. And how many times and for how many years are the same communities waiting to be rescued? Electricity grids are not upgraded. Yet multiple shifts are happening in this budget in that very cluster. In EWS, you've got 44 wards out of the 110 that rely on water tankers because you underfund that cluster and you allow project extensions to abound, so nothing gets finished. This translates to service delivery that is delayed. This week, one ward experienced 17 sinkholes. Just in one ward, imagine the rest of the city. Yes, your sinkholes are still grabbing vehicles. Years later, you are declaring savings. That's just fancy footwork in our opinion, because you are hiding the truth about stalled projects and postponed dreams for communities. These projects stall, budgets are shifted, and we are left with crumbs. It's the same musical chairs, but the music is going to stop. We need to ask who's accountable. The lack of consequence management is absolutely staggering if one has to do an audit with the number of declared savings that you say is happening because projects cannot move forward. There is no oversight, nobody is tightening the screws, and the taxpayer budgets look. While the IFP and others will now bemoan that the DA does not support budgets, I think I've made a proper case as to why we don't. It's not good enough. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you.
DA rather use ratepayers' money to pay
Councillor Ndlovu.
legal fees.
Ngiyabonga Somlomo ngethuba iEFF iyayisupporta le adjustment budget. Cabanga ukuthi kubalekile ukuthi idinga ongqangi zabantu nalapho abantu abahlupheke ngakhona noma abaswele ngakhona noma okubaleka ngakhona ukuthi kwenziwe izinto imali ithathe iswe ngakhona ukuze abantu bakwazi ukuthola izidingo ngqangi ezibalekile. Kwi-sanitation kubalekile nakhona to prioritize ama-areas njengey'ndaweni zabantu abahluphekile noma abahlwempu ngoba ibona kakhulu abahlukumezekile ngendaba edinga ama-issues esewer. So I think the money that has been put in will also be able to assist issues of storm damage where those issues of damages happen. Kwa water, we also need to make sure that we deal with fuel expenses, work on stolen cars as well. We sikushayela ihlombe ukuthi kukhona usinamile nje lapho seqashiwe ozobhekelela kakhulu ekutheni sidie nalento yama leakages noma ukulahla kwamanzi eThekwini kuyigxathe elihle kakhulu lelo elizokwazi ukusilekelela. We are spending more on private security. That's why, and cleaners as well. That's why the call of the EFF even today was still saying, let us insource. Even if we do it gradually, endaweni zikamasipala, building kamasipala, but let's do it. It's high time that we do it rather than to spend so much of money on those things. We celebrate that we have saved budget. We cannot celebrate that as the EFF that we've saved budget on unfilled vacancies. We need to employ because young people in Ethekwini are unemployed, and we need to do more in terms of that. Unauthorized expenditures as well. We can do more as Ethekwini to make sure that we safeguard our monies. So this adjustment budget will definitely go a mile in terms of achieving some of the things that we feel should be done in Ethekwini, more especially in underprivileged areas. Thank you, Somlo.
Thank you very much, Councillor Mvubu.
Thank you, Chair. As the EFF, we welcome the adjustment budgets, especially because we can see that from housing, initially there was 748 million. Now it has went up to 995 million, which will be able to assist us to build more houses for the needy. We also welcome the increase which we see under engineering, whereby there was an increase from 482 million to 572. This will also goes a long way to assist us in terms of maintaining our road infrastructure. Though we do register decrease experienced by the ETA from the national minister, but this cuts across is not only limited here in Ethekwini. Chair, I also want to, as a parting shot, that we must not allow the Democratic Alliance to arm wrestle this municipality through court processes, whereby we will end up not prioritizing our people.
Time is up.
Can you please donate? Can the ANC please donate for me, please?
No.
Councillor Nkosi.
Thank you,
In
Honorable
nature is
Speaker.
one number.
Firstly, I wanted to say that DA must go and read the Metro Trading Reform Strategy, because they claiming that it's because of their court case. No, it's because of the trading reform strategy. That's why we are attending to the issues of sewer. The long-term objective of municipality trading services is to sustainably provide universal access to essential services, crucial for the social and economic development of the city's inhabitants, business and institution. Unlike other municipal services, trading services primarily generate revenue for their own services charges, which should be managed to make a surplus. In metropolitan areas, especially in water, sanitation, electricity distribution, these surpluses should fund their own capital and maintenance spending and potential support other municipal services. The budget adjustment is intended to deliver on these objectives for trading services. It is aligned and respond to the turnaround strategy development for water and sanitation, electricity and cleansing solid waste unit. I hope, Berthe, you understand what I'm saying. A total of 409 million is included in this budget, which is a grant from Metro Trading Services Reform Program. Again, I'm repeating it for Councillor Berthe. A large part of this funding
Councillor
will be
Nkosi.
going to water and
Councillor Nkosi.
sanitation directorate.
Councillor
and will-
Nkosi.
Yes, Somdom.
When you
My apology.
wenzeni busho
Not accepted.
wenzeni
My
when you
apology.
when you address council, you direct your message to the speaker of council.
yeah,
Yeah,
convey
now
to.
please refrain to address your fellow colleague. Just address the speaker.
Thank you, convey to him.
Impela ngoba somphendula bese uyakhala uyatetema.
In the main, with the challenge of non-revenue water, the balance of this funding goes to Electricity Directorate. Water and sanitation, the city currently does not have enough raw water resource to meet this water demand. The delayed development of bulk water infrastructure in the Upper Commerce Dam means the city will be required to reduce water demand and also exploit alternatives water source to align its growing demand to the available resource in the short term. It is for this reason that a significant portion of the budget allocated to water and sanitation will be used for non-revenue water initiatives such as pipe replacement and installation. Yes, Mr. Speaker, convey the message. A new and replacement of old water meters. The city also seeks to ramp up management capacity in water and sanitation through a performance-based management contract, which is currently a procurement stage after completing a explosion of interest phase, which attracted local and international companies in this sector. It is envisaged that this will assist the city to speed up implementation of its many water-related programs that include reduction of non-revenue water, increased investment and packaging of projects for alternative funding streams. The support of various public partnership initiatives are already underway and planning to transition the business unit into structured digestization and development much needed water against the flowing of the disaster associated our coastal area. The storm damage have suffered, eThekwini have suffered a severe hard in the storm damage for April 2023. To convey that, Mr. Speaker, which work must be done to restore infrastructure that was damaged. The following are some of the projects implemented: restoration of Tongat wastewater, which had been completely destroyed. Restoration of Northern wastewater works is underway. Restoration of Umbilo wastewater works is underway. Repairs of number of wastewater pump stations and pipelines. A further 300 million rand is allocated through this budget, which is now adjusted to this month to continue to do this work. Electricity reform strategy aims to improve electricity service delivery by improving management and governance, optimizing primary and support
Yeah, your time
operations.
is up.
Thank you. We supported the
Councillor
adjustment budget.
Mwango.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Action SA firstly welcome the decision to put more money on sanitation, especially after the court ruled in favor of the parties, including Action SA, that went to court, which is unfortunate that we had to go to court to force the municipality to do what it's supposed to be doing in terms of its mandate. It's also interesting that one of the councillor, before he joined this coalition arrangement, he believed there was no plan, but today he knows there's a plan. Unfortunately, because now he's got power, he's testing power. But, Chair, Honourable Speaker, why then, as Action SA, we can't support this entire adjustment budget? This report here, we are requested to set aside 12 million for litigation cost. Now, this allocation of litigation cost is not a sign of strength. It is not a strategic foresight. It is a reflection of a failure. The city constantly losing cases and losing them with cost. That means residents are not only paying for poor decisions, but they are also paying for consequences of those poor decisions. When a municipality repeatedly losing litigation, it raises serious questions. Who is advising the city? What legal opinions are being provided? Are we pursuing cases with a reasonable prospect of success? Or we're litigating recklessly with public money? Those are the big questions, Mr. Speaker. Currently, we are fully aware that this city is intending to go to court and appeal the matter where the court ruled in favor of Action SA mayor and a DA matter. Now, you can imagine again, because the city can appeal. We'll go and defend the matter in court again. We will win these matters again with cost. Now, this 12 million set aside is only about protecting poor decisions. And the big question is when this council will take a decision and hold those who decide to go to court accountable. Because there is no reason why you must go to court when parties are just asking you as a leadership of this city to do what is right, what the mandate of this constitution dictates you to do, but you always decide to go to court and defend the poor decisions by certain officials, by certain leaders. And again, you never hold legal team accountable of giving this wrong advice, because there is no reason why, honestly, this city should be going to court. On this side, you're putting money aside to do what the court have asked you to do. You are now advertising, communicating the E. coli on our beaches, which the court asked you to do, but on the other side, you go and appeal. What are you appealing? Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Pillay.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. An adjustment budget is moved when projects are not completed or compliance issues becomes the bottlenecks in pushing forward any particular project. However, Mr. Speaker, the reality exists that there are many operational infrastructure maintenance that are neglected or are not upgraded. The Mobeni Heights crematoria, repairs to community halls in Chatsworth and Phoenix are neglected and not rehabilitated. Potholes on roads not timelessly repaired. Water trickles, leaks on the roads that eventually leads to sinkholes. Mr. Speaker, this is unacceptable. The DLC have always maintained that a drafting of the main budget should not be a merely cut and paste exercise. It is because of this practice that we are faced with an adjustment budget of this magnitude. The DLC will support this adjustment budget because we support service delivery in the interest of our ratepayers. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Somlomo, His Worship the Mayor, Honorable Whip of Council, Councillors, Amakosa Sendlunkulu, the residents of eThekwini. As National Freedom Party, we support this adjustment budget, which has been prepared in line with Section 28 of MMA, and we are pleased that this adjustment budget include the approval, assist us in accelerating the service delivery of critical